So we're very NBA heavy today. Um, so I was thinking we could definitely start with our football topics today. Um,
Yeah.
I know we kind of talked about talking about the Brandon Sorsby um, topic from Texas A&M and his eligibility to play football again. But I know you also kind of talked about the Drake London contract a little bit. If you want, we can talk about Sorsby first, and then we could also just cap it off with the Drake London contract as well, which is kind of crazy. I totally forgot to talk about that on the last podcast, and we probably should have thrown it in there on the last one, but it is what it is. We're here now, so new day,
We are
new
here
us.
now.
But yeah, dude. So Brandon Sorsby. Let me pull up this article real quick. I know I had it saved somewhere. Should have been more prepared. Here we go. A judge in district court in, I believe you pronounce it Lubbock. Lubbock. I hope so.
Lubbock, maybe.
Lubbock. Ooh, okay. Lubbock County, Texas, has granted the injunction requested by Texas Tech quarterback Brandon Sorsby. He is now set to be eligible for the 2026 college football season. What are your thoughts about this, Zach?
Yeah. So my thoughts is he shouldn't be playing football. I don't see why he's been granted eligibility. Obviously, there is no more rules in college football. The NCAA, they will appeal the case. Um, so Pete Thamel, the guy that you read right there, he said that who knows when the NCAA will appeal that. So it could be February when the NCAA appeals that, but it won't even matter because that's when Sorsby will be training for the combine and getting ready for the draft. So at that point, it's a lost cause. He did get a 2 game suspension, which I forgot exactly who they were playing in the first 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Tech, it's like some like random school the first game, and I think it's Oregon State week 2. So it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's a tiny slap in the wrist is what he got, and that's about it. Um,
ACU and Oregon State.
who is it?
ACU, the Abilene,
What is ACU?
the Abilene Christian Wildcats.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
ACU.
they're
Yeah, the
definitely gonna miss
Wildcats.
Sorsby for
Yeah,
that game.
that's the Christian university that's located in Texas.
Wow, so it's probably gonna be like 70-3 instead of 70-0.
And plus, the game
I
against
don't know.
Oregon State is it's an away game, but still, it's Oregon State. Oregon State hasn't been really that good recently, so
Yeah, so that was the suspension that he got, and apparently the judge ruled that because him not playing could cause mental damage, the judge ruled him eligible, and so that's a slippery slope in general because you could pretty much say that about anything.
right.
Sorsby, he went to rehab for like 35 days. He's been very outspoken with his struggles, which I do respect that he did that and everything. But there's a difference between letting someone play football and like potentially affecting the integrity of the game. I don't think he should be able to play in that sense. That doesn't mean like we should be upset with Brendan Sorsby. We want him to get help he needs, but still, betting on games. He's betting on college football games. And so, like Sorsby, he placed $90,000 on sports bets, including 40 wagers on Indiana when he was playing for them. He was on the scout team when he played for Indiana when he was betting those games. So he didn't like bet on any games he actually played in, so there was no score fixing. But still, it's like you can't be doing that because if you have the one thing that can tear sports apart is people realizing that it's not real competition. no one wants sports to turn into the WWE, or you don't even want it to be portrayed that there's a possibility that it could be that.
Mm.
And so it's breaking a ton of trust within the NCAA. And remember, like in the 2000s with the NBA, like the reffing, the bets with that,
Yeah,
like that really could have messed up the NBA.
it kind of
You
did.
know, it kind of did. And there's still areas of, like, in quotations, like healing that the league still has to do from that. And I think it's going to be the same with this situation right here. And it kind of reminded me of Calvin Ridley in the NFL. I think the NFL does a really good job with this. And I remember even at the time thinking that this penalty for Calvin Ridley was really harsh. But Calvin Ridley, I believe he was hurt in 2021,
Yep. Hmm.
and he was betting on the Falcons, his own team, and he was betting them to win games. And it wasn't like
He was
these
playing it.
crazy, like, expensive bets either. Like, I'm pretty sure he bet, he bet a decent amount, but it wasn't anything eye popping or anything. But he was suspended the entire next season. And so when you compare that to what Brendan Sorsby has done and only getting a 2-game slap on the wrist, being able to play football again, it's pretty eye popping. Um, yeah, so even I'm pretty sure there was something with college basketball. I'm trying to find it. Oh, yeah. Since January, more than 24 college basketball players have been permanently banned for game fixing.
How
So
many?
it's happening in college basketball, it's happening in college football. And I'm sure over time, we're just going to find out more and more college students who are betting on their own teams or
How many
possibly
in
against
college
their own
basketball?
teams.
How many did you
So it
say?
was from an article, but it said more than 24 college basketball players since January.
Oh, yeah, I could see it.
So that's a scary number. And I wouldn't be shocked if there's college freshmen out there who were in a similar situation to Brendan Sorsby, who were on the scout team, who are betting on games.
Yeah.
And so at the very least, I hope this is eye opening for those student athletes who may be doing the same thing, that they need to stop right now, because look at what this has caused. So Pete Thamel, he was on the Pat McAfee show,
Hmm.
and he said, like, right after this news came out, he had a coach call him from, I forgot what he said, like the Big 12 or Big 10, doesn't really matter.
Probably was the Big
And he
12, I would
asked,
assume.
yeah, and basically the coach asked Pete Thamel, why not go get an NFL player and get a local judge to approve it? Like, go find someone who's on the practice squad and who got cut from the practice squad and just say, "Oh, you want to come play for my school?" There's no rules anymore.
Yeah.
Anything is possible since there's no, like, good structure within the NCAA.
Hmm.
So, with all that being said, I think nothing's going to change, and the line is just going to keep getting moved and moved until we actually have structure within college football, which within college sports in general. Because even in college basketball, it's like you have the guy who played for the Celtics. His name is slipping my mind right now. Um, but he was drafted in like 2020
I know who you're talking
and
about. Yeah.
is 26 years old. He's going to play for LSU apparently this year. Like, that is one of the most ridiculous things ever.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing NFL players, you know,
Um, how do you
getting
say his
chances
name?
to play in
Yam?
college
Is it
football.
Yam Madar?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
how you
that's
say
it.
it? Okay.
And they have another one too, who played,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
I think, with the Jazz and the Celtics, like
Yeah.
RJ. something Lewis, RJ Lewis, maybe.
Uh-huh.
So it's an unfortunate situation. It's not some crazy crime, like we should have problems with, you know, these athletes who are doing like very heinous things and still being able to play football.
RJ Lewis Jr.
Yeah, exactly. So we have guys with that, and that's a whole different topic. But
Oh,
this
they have
one's a little
several
different.
RJ Lewis's from the EuroLeague. Um, Santos is another pro that they got. Oh wait, no, RJ's from the G League and draft. He actually played on teams. They got another guy from the EuroLeague, and then they also have this guy called Bryce Desert, who's from France.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
So
And
they're like
I
a
can't
lot of
even
their
really be
team
mad at
is
them.
literally people that are pros.
Yeah. It's like I'm not even mad at LSU. I mean,
They have 4
they're
pro
within the rules until
players.
there is rules.
Bro,
So,
what?
yeah, it's
I
crazy.
thought they only did 2. They have 4? Yo, nah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
man.
Oh my god. What
But
is
yeah, so we're talking about gambling, and it's on a different level than
yeah.
obviously some of these big crimes that, you've seen in the past with former players. But the difference is that this actually like infects the integrity of the game, like the actual game that's being
Mhm.
played on the field. And so I think that's why there's such a big uproar about this. Um, I think for Sorsby, I'm not sure what he's getting paid at Texas Tech, but for his NFL future, I strongly would have considered going into the supplemental draft. That probably would have been the smart move for him. Um, Granted, he would probably be making less money because if you don't know what the supplemental draft is, basically it's a blind auction draft. So if a team says, "Okay, if I'm the Jets, I'd say I would pay a third round pick for Brendan Sorsby," and say like 4 other teams decide like, "Yeah, I would throw a fourth round pick." Well, the Jets are the highest bidder. He goes to the Jets for a next year's third round pick, and he's theirs.
Mhm.
And so I think that would have been probably the best case scenario for Brendan
Oh,
Sorsby.
keep in mind
I
too, just real quick. Um, I love how you brought up the money aspect because let's be real, guys. Like these guys are not stupid. Like these aren't kids. Like Brendan Sorsby's like 23 years old. Um, if he would have went to the NFL, he would have made significantly less money.
Yeah,
Significantly. So it's not just the fact that he's coming back and he feels like he needs another year to play. He's strictly doing that for that reason because it can save his pro career moving forward for him getting another season if he plays at least decent enough to get on an NFL team. So his money is saved going into the NFL. Plus, he makes more money playing for one more year of eligibility through college football because, again, there's no rules, like Zach said, no salary cap. So literally, Texas Tech can pay this man as much as they want. And in Texas, I mean, everything's bigger in Texas, so they're
facts.
definitely giving him a bag.
And my argument is actually I think he should have went the supplemental route for the long term. I think it would have went better for him because I think now there's going to be such a spotlight on Brendan Sorsby and a class that's going to be absolutely stacked. I think Sorsby has a lot of talent, and and I was being pretty low on him when I said if the Jets threw a third round, he could probably go for a second round, and I would have been a little surprised if a team threw a first, but it wouldn't be like, oh my goodness, that's the most insane thing. He is a talented quarterback. So I think that it would have went better for him in that sense. But obviously that's not the case. He got eligibility, and we'll see what happens. See what happens. It'll be fun to see Texas Tech this year, and yeah, they're gonna have a big spotlight on them.
It might have helped them long term maybe, but you gotta understand college athletes now, they don't really look at long term now because they can make big money in college football now. Um, so like when someone like Brandon Sorsby sees that he could possibly have one more eligibility, I looked up what his estimate is to make this year. He's
Hmm.
estimated to make close to about $6 million.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, to me, it's definitely more of a money factor. I mean, if I was in his position, I'd say at this point, I have a better chance of probably making more money because if he was to do your route, he's pretty much betting on himself, right? Which is
Hmm.
fine. You know, you want the players to bet on themselves any day of the week, right? But he also realizes that if he goes that route, there's also definitely less of a chance he gets any playing time ever or even a look. Um, this opportunity gives him the chance to make the money now and maybe possibly even if he gets drafted. Um, so I think his mindset is it's gonna be short term no matter what, and I need to secure my money now. And if I turn out to be good in the NFL, then I'm good. Then I'm gonna make my money no matter what. But that's why these college athletes are they're not in any rush of getting to the NFL because
Yeah.
they realize they can make really good money in college football. Um, and then if they turn out to be pretty decent at the pro level, then dude, they stacked millions of dollars upon millions of dollars in NIL and sponsorships, which by the way, he's making 6 million just in his NIL on estimate. We're not even talking about sponsorships outside of that. Um, all that being said, dude, like this is more of a money win to me than anything for him. Like, I mean, he can come out and talk about how much he's working on his, mental health and all that, which is good. Like that's what he should do. But
Hmm.
him wanting to play one more year is literally just me being like, I don't really think this is actually him being sorry. Um, I think this is more of him being like, "Oh, they found out. I messed up. Definitely not doing that again, but you guys should give me one more chance."
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I could see it being, yeah, more so that because it's not like gambling is, like obviously, is it legal in all 50 states
It's
at this
getting
point?
there. It's getting there.
Okay.
It's
If
not,
not,
but
it's close.
it's majority now. Um, there probably will be a point where it's maybe like 49 out of 50 because the main state that's really on it is Utah. Utah is very big against sports betting. Um,
Good for Utah.
yeah, I mean, it's the Mormon population that gets it
Yeah.
done there.
They be out here.
Yep. Turns out when you
Yeah.
have a big
So
cultural Mormon source in the state of Utah, that's what beats sports gambling, baby.
for my final remarks on this, I'm going to choose to be a little optimistic about him, even if it wasn't out of good motives that he went to rehab. I'm glad. I'm choking. I'm choking up, man. I'm glad he went to rehab for 35 days. I mean, even if that was just for, the football aspect of it, um, that's something he should have done. And hopefully he can be a spokesman for the NCAA and why gambling shouldn't be a good thing. This is me being optimistic, but I hope that's the case. And that's pretty much all I have on it.
Yeah, and you gotta think of it too, like college football is a little bit different than the NFL. So like when Calvin Ridley got his 1 year ban, you're already a pro. Like obviously you're gonna be able to run it back another year, right? Um in college football, like not a lot of people really agree with Nick Saban a lot of times, and I definitely don't agree with Nick Saban on a lot of things myself. Um, but if there's one thing me and Nick Saban can agree on, it's this whole issue. And to me, like him making points about college football isn't about making young men into grown men anymore. It's really not about teaching these kids how to be pros anymore. Even Tom Brady talked about it as well. These are literally like organizations now. These are like NFL teams. Like you're not going to college to learn the game anymore, and study the game. This is not something that helps prepare you to go to the next level. This is literally like purgatory in the middle between high school and the NFL where you get to have fun and get paid and just do whatever you want because there's literally no one stopping you.
Yeah,
So, just keep that in mind. But
absolutely.
yeah, I mean, I think guys like Nick Saban and Tom Brady really hit it on the nail. Like even if everyone might not agree with them on a lot of things, like collectively, I think we can all come together and agree everything's correct in that standpoint. So,
Right. Well, enough about betting. Let's quickly just touch on the Drake London contract that just came out a couple days ago. So, Drake London signed a 4-year, $141 million deal, which is 35 million a year. That
yeah,
is
dude.
third in the NFL. 100 million of that is guaranteed, which is tied for fourth in guaranteed money.
Mhm.
Do you have any thoughts about this contract or Drake London as a player?
I wanna say he deserves it. Like, for him to have his season that he had last year, and a lot of people were questioning if he would break out to be the wide receiver that people projected him to be. I mean, just well done, man. One of the best receivers in the game. He definitely deserves the contract. Um, as a player, he deserves it, but analytically, logistically, is it really the right deal if you're running the Falcons? I would say probably not. Um, he's the highest paid wide receiver now in the NFL, correct? Because you said he's
He's
top.
third.
He's 3rd now? Okay.
He's third.
Who are the 2 in front of him, do you know?
Like guaranteed or just like the whole contract?
Um, I guess whole contract. He's not 1st in
The whole
guaranteed money?
No, he's tied for fourth.
Really?
So
Dude, that's a
the
lot of guaranteed money, though. That's crazy.
it is. The two ahead of him are JSN and
Mhm.
Jamar Chase,
Okay.
and it's Drake London.
I see that now. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. Would you say JSN and Jamar Chase are overpaid?
No,
Okay.
I think they're paid just fine.
Do you think
What
Drake London
really
is overpaid?
n- I guess for like I don't think he's the third best receiver in football, so if you want to say
Okay,
overpaid
yeah,
in that
yeah,
sense,
yeah. I
no.
I wouldn't say he's the 3rd best receiver. From context,
That's not
I'm
how I look
saying
at it though.
yeah, 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 right. I mean, I'm saying he's one of the best, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean for the market and what he should have gotten, yeah, this is probably where I would have him. He probably could have been even more of a diva and been like, I want to be the highest paid wide receiver. If that was the case, I would probably hate on this more. But the market is the market. There's going to be guys coming up soon that are going to get paid more than Drake London. It's just how it goes. It's even with
especially
quarterbacks
on a
too. It's
4-year
like
deal now.
you'll get, a quarterback between like 10 and 18 become the highest paid QB in the NFL. And I don't like that this is how the system is, but that's how it is. And so this is the case with wide receivers too. It's like usually the next good to elite wide receiver is going to get the top money in the league or pretty close to it. And so, that's what happened with Drake London. So
And what doesn't
it's just
help
how the league
is
operates.
what doesn't help as well is if I'm Drake London's agent, I look at the list of guys who are getting paid, ridiculous money in that position.
Hmm.
And, I scroll down and I see, oh, DK Metcalf was the fifth highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. And he's getting paid 132. Is Drake London better than DK Metcalf? That conversation. Or better yet, Brandon Ayuk, still a top 10 paid wide receiver. The dude doesn't even play
Yeah,
football
it's brutal.
games. The dude
Yeah.
doesn't even play football games. He more plays on Instagram more than anything and social media.
We could do a
Um,
whole segment on Brandon Ayuk one day.
oh God, dude.
Yeah.
If he ever gets waived, you know why. We will be
Oh,
the
he's
first
gonna get
ones.
waived.
Yep.
That
Um,
boy's gonna be a commander.
but dude, if I'm Drake London, like I don't really feel bad because it's like they paid Brandon Ayuk $120 million. T. Higgins got paid 115. I mean, shoot, we just saw Alec Pierce get an extension to 114. So I mean,
Yeah.
Alec Pierce is getting 114, and he's hit or miss sometimes. Depending who's at quarterback. I mean, I think I should get paid 140. And obviously it depends on what those conversations look like between the agent and the front office and what contracts the Falcons have on the books. It just kind of sucks for the Falcons a little bit though, because this contract, I feel like you probably agree. The reason you think it's too high at this point in time because they still haven't even solidified who their quarterback is.
Well, yeah. Um, I would have done this contract. Like the way I would argue it is how good he's been with very bad quarterback play.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
So if
fair.
they could ever get a good quarterback, I
Hmm.
think it would go really well for him. I'm thinking of guys like even DeAndre Hopkins. If he got a quarterback, I feel like he could be like Mike Evans esque in a way, like just a consistent 1,000-yard receiver every year if he can get the right quarterback play,
Hmm.
which obviously he hasn't had. What really stood out to me about this contract, and this is a compliment more than anything. It's how much of a steal Amon-Ra's contract was. I'm just like looking at his contract,
Yeah,
77
dude.
million
Yep.
guaranteed.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah, dude, Amon-Ra
Like
120,
Lions.
making the same money as Ayuk, dude. And it's
Oh
only gonna go
man.
down as time goes on here, so
Yeah, they got an absolute steal with him. But anyway, this is about Drake London. I really like Drake London. I was actually very, very wrong with Drake London coming out of the draft. I thought he was a bust,
oh,
100%.
really?
And oh yeah. Yeah, so I honestly really struggle with um big body wide receivers, like
Mhm.
scouting them. For some reason, it never clicks with me because like I thought Drake London would be a bust, and I thought Treylon Burks was going to be the next DK. You know,
Mhm.
like there's just something about that specific archetype that I am just not good at scouting.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he's successful. He's doing his thing, and now the Falcons are going to have to pay Bijan soon, which he'll be the highest paid running back in football as well. So
He has one
Falcons
more
are
year.
paying a lot of money to their offense, and they just got to figure out the quarterback position. Um, maybe they try to get one in this next quarterback class. I'm assuming. I hate to assume, but I feel like probably Penix and Tua aren't going to be the answer. But who knows? Maybe they will. Um,
We see
so
more
yeah,
crazy surprises.
yeah, exactly. So
And I
you
just
know,
pulled up the Falcons
it's a
cap
good deal.
space going to next season. It's actually way better than what I thought it
Yeah,
was.
they
So
got a good
this
amount.
yeah, they're projected $113 million in cap.
Mhm.
cap space going into next season, and that's even before an extension on Bijan. So, and there's a good chance they're going to extend Jesse Bates. Maybe we'll see, but well, he's 29 now. If they do resign him, they're probably going to get him on a cheaper deal, but I don't know what that looks like. Um, but I know for sure, Bijan is getting a re-signing, and
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts. I'm pretty sure he's on the last year of his deal too.
He had a good year last year.
Mm-hmm.
He finally somewhat broke out, which was
Right.
good to see.
So your
One
main
of the most
extensions
frustrating
on
fantasy
offense are those
players
two.
of all time.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Pitts and Bijan are definitely going to be the main two signings on offense. Because they're both
Yes.
on 1 years right now. So
Yeah, obviously the next thing you got to do is lock down Bijan. That's their best player on the team. He's going to be the highest paid running back. So
of
they
all
should
time.
get that done sooner rather than later. Yeah, of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah,
Drake
dude.
London talk. But do you have anything else on that?
No, I think that was it, dude. I think it's pretty short and simple. I did not realize that the Falcons cap space was actually pretty good. So that's if I'm a Falcons fan, I'm actually a little bit feeling better about the future. Because I
Yeah,
thought they
man.
were kind of screwed a little bit, but now looking at the money that they have situated, even with signing Pitts and Bijan to extensions possibly that are coming, you're still gonna have a well amount of money to play with. So I'm cool with it.
Well, we talked about this for the Bucks last podcast, but this is another team that is similar. That it's a crossroad year. You get to figure out if Tua or Michael Penix can be your quarterback of the future, and if not, they're in the same boat. You can go into the 2027 class and be in the quarterback sweepstakes. So
Yeah.
they are not in a bad spot, and they, like you said, they have so much cap space they can build their team up in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
So not all hope is lost, but
I
let's
like
jump
it.
into basketball, and we're going to be talking about Josh's favorite team in the whole wide
Oh, we're
world,
starting off with that one. Right into it,
the
baby.
Charlotte Hornets.
Heck yeah.
And so I'm just going to lay it out, and then I want you to go in.
Okay.
So there's been rumors, there's been reports out there that the Hornets are interested in King Center, Domantas Sabonis, and I know Josh has a lot of thoughts about this, so I'm going to leave the floor to you.
Yeah. While we're talking about this, I'm also gonna pull up the Hornets cap space because if anyone is unfamiliar, Sabonis makes a crap ton of money right now.
Yeah, I have him
So
down for 45.4 this
does he
season
still
and
have two? He still has two,
48.6
right?
next season.
Yeah, 2 years.
2 years left
He
on the
doesn't,
deal.
and he doesn't have any player or team option, right? Or is the next following year a player or team option?
I'm not sure. You'd have to
Okay.
look up that part.
We'll just go by the
But I know there's 2
two,
years.
right? Um well, let me double check real quick. But yeah, dude, so many reports coming out yesterday about this. Um there was actually rumors during the season that there was a chance for this, so I'm not really like too shocked about it. Oh, they're guaranteed. There's no player team option. So this is gonna be money earned no matter what. Um so checking this out real quick. Um because we're going into the 26-27 season. The main talks right now, and I have two reports on hand. The Charlotte Hornets and the Kings have been having recent talks about Sabonis. One reporter said while a deal is not imminent and appears unlikely before the draft, sources say the Hornets have interest in the star. The problem now, it seems, that the Kings have been hoping to land one of Charlotte's two first round picks in the
Yep.
upcoming draft here, the 14th and 18th pick. in the deal, and the Hornets have signaled a desire to retain these picks and discuss a Sabonis trade later in the summer. Um, if you want to know the main framework for the trade as well, rumors are speculating the trade is surrounding Miles Bridges, Josh Green, and at least one first round pick for Sabonis. Um, yeah, that's the main talks there.
So the only holdup is getting the 14th or 18th pick. So it would
Yes,
probably be done today if the Hornets said, "Okay, Kings take the 18th pick." Well, not today, but obviously once the season's done.
correct. And I totally understand it because it makes sense for the Hornets not want to get rid of the 14th and 18th pick, because if you know, this is one of the most loaded drafts we've had in a while now. It's a very deep draft. Um, People are projecting that even past the 10th pick, you can get really valuable players, maybe even starters or bench players, even in the middle of the draft. So us even having a 14th and an 18th pick, um, I think Jeff Peterson, our president of basketball's operations, is looking at it like these two picks. And if we draft right, which the Hornets have draft majority of the time very well ever since the new ownership has been in, it makes sense that they would want to take a hit on those two picks and see who they can get. Because one of the main issues that the Hornets have is depth, and that really showcased going into the playoffs. The depth doesn't really sound too bad, but once you get into the playoffs, it really showed the holes to me. Like LaMelo and Miles played really well. Brandon Miller and Khan was really bad, but I mean, he's 20 years old and a rookie. I'm not going to be too much on him. Brandon Miller, I mean, they're all starters, and then you have Musa at center. Like those are our main starters, but then the guys that are filling in, you have Josh Green, which Josh Green had a better season this year, but he's just a normal 3 and D guy. Can't really create a shot, to be honest with you. Um,
Mhm.
Grant Williams, he's also not a shot creator, kind of can hit a 3 here and there. Plays a little bit of defense, but he's kind of slow on the perimeter. He's a little bit better once you get him into the interior, but otherwise he's kind of a cone on the perimeter if he versus someone that's quicker than him. Um, Trey Mann did not do good at all this season, so he's cooked. Pat Connaughton is just on this team as a veteran presence. Liam McNeely could be something, but he's still a project. And then Sion James and Ryan Kalkbrenner, like those are our two like really big bench pieces that we've had and starters when people have like injuries, like if Brandon is out or Khan hasn't been out, but like Sion will come into the lineup, or if Moose is out, Ryan Kalkbrenner will come in and play. So like our really big pieces, if you look at it, it's really about maybe 7 to 8 players. I mean, Kobe White is there now, which is our really big bench pieces. So going into the playoffs, it was really the main 5, and then you have Sion James, Ryan Kalkbrenner, and Kobe White. Those 3 guys are playable in the playoffs a little bit, but here's the thing, Sion James still can't create a shot properly. Ryan Kalkbrenner, he's been bulking up this offseason, which is great, but during that stretch, he's getting bodied, and he's 7'2", and dude's getting bodied by every big man he versus. And then Kobe White, Kobe White, he takes and gives. Like he can create a shot for you. That's kind of why we got Kobe White, is because he's another good guard option that we have when if we need to take LaMelo off the floor, or Khan or Brandon. Like this is a guy who we can put the ball in his hands and he can create a shot. But like he's really the only one who can come off the bench and do that. So depending on the way that we run the lineups, it's really not as valuable as you would hope. Um, so I'm really not too shocked in the deal here that the Hornets are trying to trade Miles, which Miles makes sense. He's usually the one that gets put in the trade talks the most because out of all the guys that we have, Miles is pretty much peaked at this point. He's a veteran of the team. He's 28 years old. He's about to be 29. You pretty much have everything that you need to know about Miles. Like Miles will give you, 18 to 20 points every year. He's a great rebounder. He can play defense here and there. He's just a very, decent player to have. Um, Josh Green also makes sense. In these contracts, it makes so much sense because Miles is gonna be making 22 about 23 million, I'll just round up, 23 million, this next season, which it is his last year, by the way. Josh Green is making 15, so 23, 15. Oh, look, that's $48 million, for those 2 players combined, and they're both on one-year deals now. Like, this is the last year that they're contractually with the Hornets. Um, and the Hornets are obviously looking to get the team better moving forward, especially after this season. Like, they're trying to get out of the play-in, and you look at Sabonis, he's making 45 million. If you're trading those 2 players, you're pretty much adding a player who's better than Miles and Josh Green, who definitely brings more value to your team than not. I know his defense isn't the best, but at the end of the day, he's better offensively as a playmaker. He's another guy who you can put the ball in his hands and he can make plays. I rather Sabonis have the ball than Miles at the end of the day. Like I know Miles looked good in the 2 games he played in the play-in, but that's not even the whole showcase of what happened during the whole season. Me and my Hornets friends, we would always talk about, please, Charles Lee, give LaMelo, Brandon, or Khan the ball. If I see Miles take a game-winning shot ever again, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And there was a lot of times where Miles had the final shot, or he would have the ball to make the final play instead of LaMelo or Brandon or Khan, and it's like, I get he's the vet next to Connaughton, like, he's the second oldest guy, I get it. He has the most, you know, years of playing in the NBA, so, like, you kinda hope he would know how to win the game, right? But for Miles, it's not like a win issue for him, it's just more of he can't really do it. Like, he can't play make as good as LaMelo, and I would say he can't even play make as good as Brandon. Like, Brandon's becoming better of a playmaker. Khan is already a better playmaker than Miles, easily. I might even go as far as saying Khan is already a better playmaker than Brandon from the flashes I was getting from this past season, and hopefully that continues, but, like, we've talked about this many times on the pod and episodes. You're not gonna win in this league if you don't have guys that can't shot create and play make. LaMelo can't be the only shot creator and playmaker on the floor. That's why the Hornets can't make it out because LaMelo has always been the only shot creator and playmaker. He has everything on his plate. But once you start adding guys like Brandon who you can develop and hopefully his playmaking and, his shot creation can get better as time goes on. Khan is definitely gonna be a better playmaker and shot creator as time goes on. Um, those are 2 guys you can hold on to, and then Sabonis, he's not a really good shot creator in any means, but he makes really good reads, really good plays, like, he's a playmaker at heart. So adding another guy that's a good playmaker onto this team, I'm not mad at all. The only thing that would question me is definitely the defense, which is what we were talking about earlier, Zach, the other day about it, which
Yeah.
is brutal. You're like, if the Hornets versus another team, it's gonna be like 148 to 146. Like, there's gonna be no
Yeah.
defense, you know?
It's gonna be the
Um,
all-star game.
which is true, but here's the thing, Zach. I've thought about it more, and I feel like I see Jeff Peterson's vision here. And if I know him correctly, if we make this trade here, what is the starting lineup in your mind?
To me, it would be LaMelo, Khan, Miller, Diabate, Sabonis.
Right. Exactly, because you're getting rid of Miles, right? So that creates
Yeah.
a hole at the power forward. So whoever they're gonna mix and match, Sabonis and Musa are probably gonna play together. If not, there might be times where Kalkbrenner's playing with Sabonis or and vice versa. But actually, they probably wouldn't put Kalk with Diabate unless Musa started taking more threes, but Sabonis can take threes, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
That's another thing.
He
A
shot pretty
really
well, I think, from three.
mhm,
The
a
past
real
couple years.
yeah, that's another thing is the Hornets actually have been wanting to have a center that shoots three-pointers, and this would actually fix it right here. Um, and Sabonis is probably a better shooter than Bridges, honestly, from 3 too. But I feel like that's really good idea. Like Sabonis is probably more of a center, but I think it's makes sense if there's a scenario where you put him and Musa on the court together. You know, no matter who's playing power forward or center, Musa can hide the deficiencies of Sabonis. I mean, I don't know if anyone's been watching him this past season. I know I have been. Musa is insane on defense. He is a workhorse. For him being 6'10", he plays bigger than 6'10". Um, so there's no doubt in my mind that he'd be able to hide Sabonis's, deficiencies. Um, I think the defense is going to be more prevalent on if we make this move, how much better is LaMelo, which there have been moments where LaMelo was playing actually really decent defense last season. I think there was one game, I don't know if it was against Boston, but I think even you mentioned it, like LaMelo looked way better on defense than he has previously. Um,
Yeah,
and Brandon Miller and Khan, like Brandon Miller can play defense when he wants. Khan, dude, Khan plays at 200% every play. Like,
he tries.
exactly. So, like, even though he might get beat sometimes, like, I can't get mad at the dude. Like, he tries on both sides of the floor. Like, I'd rather him try than not, you know?
Yeah.
Um, I will say, though, Khan will probably get better as a defender, though. Even though he's not as, like, super quick or as athletic as other guys. I think Khan will be more of, like, more but I'm trying to think of the word, like, more of, like, a mindful defender more than, like, more physicality, get in your face defender. Like, Khan, to me, is really big IQ, um, so I think in that aspect, that'll be nice for him. Unlike Brandon, like, Brandon can get in your face, and he can use his athleticism to guard you easily, right? Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, after I had time to think about it, I'm really not too mad about it because I do think there's a scenario where it didn't work for the Kings because they didn't have anyone to pair with Sabonis. You know, they had Keegan Murray at power forward with him, and neither of them can play defense. So, of course, you're going to get scored on multiple times. But if you have Musa next to him, then that to me fixes the issue there. If you're worried about, teams abusing the paint, because I mean, Moose is just gonna body whoever comes to the paint, so
So I looked up his 3-point percentage, and this is taking away last year because he only played 19 games. But the previous 3 years when he was actually healthy, 37.3% from the three, 37.9%, and then 41.7%.
mhm. Yep.
So, and that's what Charles Lee likes to do. He likes the three ball. And so he comes from the Missoula tree, and that's what they do. So he fits in perfectly with
Yeah.
that Hornets team. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I kind of go back and forth because I do see the vision a little bit too. And we talk about, he's not a good rim protector. I mean, that we all know that, but his rebounding is very good.
Yep. I didn't
His
even thought about
playmaking
that. Mhm.
is very good. His 3-point shot is very good. So at least there's things where he's very good, multiple things he's really good at to
Zach,
cover for his one weakness.
Zach,
Now,
I
you
gotta
know,
say,
mhm.
Musa and Sabonis rebounding would feed families. Oh my gosh. We already have one of the best rebounding teams in the league. If we add Sabonis to it, oh my gosh, I would not be surprised if we're the best rebounding team in the NBA. I would not be shocked at all.
It would be really good.
Yeah.
So I would have a couple concerns. Obviously, once playoff time starts and you have Sabonis out there for
Yeah.
a lot of minutes,
Yeah.
a majority of minutes, that's going to
Mhm.
be hard to hide in a way.
That is the concern though.
Especially when you don't have multiple elite defenders on the court at one time.
Yep.
And another thing I would be a little concerned about is basically the front court depth. Um, like you mentioned, Kalkbrenner, but once the playoffs come, there's going to have to be someone different that you have to bring into the mix. And there's, even if this trade goes through, like you'll still have at least one of your picks, if not both of them, which maybe you would address the front court or
The Hornets are possibly going to be drafting another big man here in the draft. So even if Kalkbrenner doesn't pan out, we're there's definitely rumors that we're looking to draft another big man, just in case, like, even if Kalkbrenner gets bulked up or whatever, um, if he's still not playing well defensively as a big man, to help with the deficiencies of Sabonis's defense and Musa being shorter, we're still gonna need moments where we need a actual definitive rim protector.
dude, imagine Mara falls to 14.
Dude,
That would be
there's been a lot of
insane.
rumors Hornets have their eyes on him, and there have been moments where people are thinking that they should trade up and get him.
I wouldn't mind if you package those picks to trade up for him. That's an
I
elite
wouldn't be
rim protector,
surprised.
dude.
Yep. Mhm.
That
There's a world. There is definitely in a world. He's already been in the Hornets training camp, so there's definitely eyes on him for sure. I'm assuming as we get to the draft, I think the Hornets want him, dude. I really do. I would not be surprised if they made a trade during the draft,
yeah.
just to see if he might fall to them, because there's no point in you drafting up if no one's gonna take him. So we'll see though.
If you were able to land him and do this Sabonis trade, I would think much more highly of it.
Yeah.
Which even if you didn't pick Mara, I would still, I wouldn't like say holy cow what a steal, but I wouldn't be like this was a bad trade.
But that's
I
because
think doing
Kalkbrenner is
this,
still like, you don't really know if Kalkbrenner can put it all together. I mean, that's kind of my thought process, because there were moments where he's pretty slow-footed, like,
yeah.
which makes sense. He's 7'2", but that's part of the reason why I was kind there's a piece of me where I'm kind of iffy.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, I don't know if you want to bet on him being your first man, off the bench if you're wanting to make a playoff run. He's
Ugh.
he was only a
Yeah.
rookie, obviously. Will probably improve, but it would be nice if you added one more guy to make you a little bit more comfortable.
Well, obviously the Hornets were high on him at the start though, because Kalkbrenner was getting starting minutes
Yeah,
day
he was,
1.
dude.
Mhm. Yep. I mean, Sion
Did,
J I mean, still, like, shout out to Sion and Ryan Kalkbrenner, like, for them to come in and play the starter minutes that they're playing since day 1, like, and for them to produce the way that they did is really, like, I think really highly of that. Like, they produce pretty well for what situation they were put in. Um, so I do appreciate that, but at the end of the day, like, I'm with you. Facts are facts at the end of the day. And the fact is, Sion James can't create a shot, and Ryan Kalkbrenner is too slow to keep up with your better big men.
your Neemias Quedas of the world.
as in like a Bam, because Bam's gonna cook them. If we have to verse the Heat again, for example.
Oh no.
Or
Did
the
he cook?
Magic, because like we literally could not play Kalkbrenner against the Magic. Like Paulo would have absolutely cooked that man every time he drove to the paint.
Yeah, I'm just curious the certain, strategies the Hornets can go because obviously like once 2026 came around, you guys were basically the best offense in basketball. And so it's like you're like number 1 and you're basically adding more offense to your number 1 offense, which is a good thing. But I'm
Yeah.
curious if like obviously like a Rudy Gobert, that would probably be your favorite thing to ever happen to you.
But my
Someone
main
like
thing
that.
is I'm looking at it as like players and like player to player. I'm like, yeah, that you're worried about the defense, but let's be real, like we're getting rid of Miles Bridges and Josh Green, you know? Like is the defense really going to be that drastically different going from Miles and Josh Green to Sabonis? Like obviously the offense is going to be
No,
actually the offense is going to be tremendously better because Sabonis is better at any area that Miles is except dunking obviously. Like Bridges is a better dunker, but I mean that doesn't win you games. Um
that's still something you'd want to improve on, though.
yeah.
And those are like your only, you know, real assets that you would want to trade, as in players.
I think if
Is Grant
Brandon
on an expiring?
he has one more year left. We have a lot of
Okay,
expirings,
well,
by the way. Context, guys. Sabonis, he has 2 years left. We're not locking ourselves into Sabonis like the Kings did. So,
yeah.
like, even if the Sabonis project doesn't work, like, there's 2 years left on his deal. Like, we're not locked into this. And that's what I love about Jeff Peterson, man. He literally told us he'll make the trades that are needed for us to improve, but the caps he's never gonna put the cap room into a horrible deficit. Like, he pretty much said he'll never make a bad deal like the Sabonis deal, like, where you sign him for 4 years, type of
Mhm.
thing. Jeff Peterson's whole motion is, I wanna trade for star players on deals that make sense for the team and also the money side of things. And doing this trade, it's really we're already gonna spend the money. Like I said, Miles and Josh Green, they make about the same money combined as Sabonis. So even just in a budget standpoint, we're not paying more money for Sabonis anyways. We actually clear $3 million in the cap room when we trade them, if we do. And then we just have them on the books again for next year, which next year, fun fact, there's only 3 people guaranteed on the Hornets next season, Zach. Do you know who those
Mhm.
3 are that are on the books?
Con.
Nope. Well, he's on a team option, which we'll probably I'll throw him in. Yeah, he's on a team option, but
Diabate.
nope.
I thought didn't he sign like a extension?
Yeah, he's in it right now. It's the 2 million. We're paying him
Oh,
2 million.
Mello,
Yep.
Brandon.
Nope.
Dude, who is it?
Sion
Brandon.
and Ryan Kalkbrenner because they just got drafted with Khan.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So the only people we will have on the books that we know of so far is going to be Khan, Sion, and Kalkbrenner and Lamelo. That's literally it.
Can you play hypothetical GM Josh for a second?
Mm-hmm.
So, if the Kings basically came up to you and said the absolute only way this deal goes through is if you add pick 18. If not, we're not doing it, not even after summer. Are you going to take it or not?
Mm.
Obviously, in a
But
perfect
see, I
world,
don't know what
after
the other
summer.
deals are because maybe the Hornets are in other trade discussions.
Well, that's the thing. So you wouldn't know. So let's just say
Right.
you're the GM and you'll just move on if that's not the case, if you don't want to do it.
I would still say I would do it for the 18th pick. Um, but that's just because I know for a fact the reason the Hornets are confident that they can still hold on to both picks and still get Sabonis after that is because no one's going to trade for Sabonis. Can you think of any
Yeah.
other team that's going to trade for Sabonis? That massive contract? Making $45 million a season to not play defense, Zach.
Yeah.
What team is going to pay him besides the Kings?
Mm,
And who else is going to give them a first round pick for him?
yeah. I don't think anyone would.
So that's kind of my thought process is Jeff
Yeah.
Peterson knows the market. He knows people in other teams. I know he's calling up other teams and being like, "Oh, do you know Sabonis is on the market? It's crazy, man. Would you ever trade for that guy?" you know?
Yeah,
But
man.
like even
I
just
don't
looking at the
know.
teams, like the Pistons wouldn't trade for him. The Celtics probably not because they just got done with PTSD from Vooch. Knicks wouldn't,
Yeah.
Cavs wouldn't. Yeah, none of the East would because a lot of these teams are very defensive minded. I'm looking at the West, they're even more defensive minded. The only team I can maybe think of is I mean, the Grizzlies would have probably the room for it if they want to trade John Morant to the Kings, but why would you trade for Sabonis and trade John Morant to the Kings for Sabonis when you're trying to restart, you know?
Yeah.
Because
There'd
I
be
know
no
there's been
point.
trade talks about Ja going to Sacramento, but to do that, you literally have to trade Sabonis. But from Memphis side, like Memphis is not going to make that trade. I'm sorry. Like they're not going to trade for Sabonis. It's not happening.
My only argument though would be so it does make sense why um the Hornets are the only realistic option. Like that is the number one spot for him. My question would be if you're the Kings and you actually want value for him, it's like why not just keep him at that point and just eat it for another year if you can't get a pick?
If you can't get a
Like what
pick,
would like Miles Bridge like, like who cares if it's Miles Bridges and Josh Green
mhm.
on your team instead of Sabonis? Like at that
Mhm.
point, why not just eat the contract another year? I guess another two
Um
years.
if I'm
That's the only
correct,
difference, I guess.
let me I'm pulling this up real quick. If I'm
While
correct
you pull
though,
that up, dude, the lightning's going crazy out there.
at your place?
Yes.
Really? Oh no.
I'm getting screenshotted, bro.
Oh, oh no. Please don't
Anyway,
shut down PlayStation. Keep going. Go crazy,
I know.
please. I mean, if you're Sacramento though, are you're just gonna run it back after this season?
Yeah, I mean, they're just,
Let's be
it's
real.
just like, without a pick, though, it's uh, like what, why? Like, what's the point? In a way, I guess the only point would be so, like, what's Miles Bridges and Josh Green? Are they 1 year deals?
Yes. It's to get off the
Okay.
books a year
Okay.
sooner. That's what I was saying is
So that changes it.
yeah,
I
that's what I
didn't
was
know it was
so,
one
like,
year.
they're expiring deals, and the Hornets are pretty much getting Sabonis who has 2 years.
Yeah.
So, we're
So
pretty
that
much
that
adding
would
1
make
more year
sense
to the
then.
books. Yeah. So, the Kings are pretty much moving off moving off the books 1 year sooner. And
Okay.
plus and plus, I don't think Sabonis wants to play with Sacramento anymore. If I remember correctly, I think he requested a trade during last season.
Oh, who would, dude?
I think he did. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure that happened. So,
Well, then, yeah, that gives all the leverage to the Hornets then, because
mhm.
that makes a lot of sense. I
Yes.
thought they had 2 years as well.
Plus, it makes sense that you would want to stack up for next year's draft. So, like, if the Hornets give them a pick for like next year in 2027, they have two picks. They already have two first rounders next year, so they have their own pick, and then the Spurs first round pick, but it's protected one
Who
through
has that?
16.
Hornets?
Hmm.
The Hornets have the Spurs
No,
or
the
the Kings?
Kings. The Kings.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. So the Kings
Yeah.
have the Spurs first round pick. It's protected 1 through 16. As long as the Spurs are really good, that's going to be the Kings pick. So the Kings are going to have two first round picks next year for sure. They'll have an early first round pick because they're going to be bad again, but they'll have a late first round pick from the Spurs. So it'll probably be around, the 20, late 20s to maybe even 30 range depending if they win the championship next year. Um
Yeah.
but dude, if they have those two picks and then if Charlotte gives you a 27 pick, you're going to have three first rounders. So not only are you going to get off the books off of Sabonis's contract sooner, you'll also have three first rounders going into next year's draft.
That would be spicy.
Yeah, I mean, even for the Kings, that's what you want. Like if I'm a Kings fan, that's kind of what I would want. Like if I'm trying to rebuild, it all makes sense.
I have a hypothetical Hornets trade for you,
Okay.
and you tell me blasphemy or if you would do it.
Okay.
You send Miles Bridges, Tijon Salon, and number 18 for Zion. Initial thoughts.
Mm, how old is Zion now? 25.
He's
Gonna be
25. He was born
26.
on the exact same day as me, dude.
Oh
Same
yeah,
year.
that's right. I forgot
That's
about
why
that.
I know that.
Yeah. Hmm.
I'll always know his age.
I forgot about that.
He'll be
Um,
26 before the start of next season.
that would be dope, but it's probably just not gonna happen. Like, if Zion was a better three-point shooter, it probably would happen.
So that was my only thing too, is he can't shoot the three.
You're literally
However, would
just
you want someone who could drive the ball with
that's
all
what
your
Miles
3-point
is.
shooters out there?
That's what Miles is
But
supposed to
Zion,
be. He's a better
but
driver of the basketball, obviously.
yeah.
Yeah.
But my argument would be, how often can you buy low on a potential star like Zion? I think it
Mm,
could be worth it.
who's better though, Sabonis or Zion?
Well, I don't know, because
Well, if you're going by
I
what
think if
ifs,
both,
you think Zion could be better
I think, yeah, for sure.
because at one point we all thought Zion was going to be one of the best
Well,
players in the NBA just based off of potential alone, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he could be better. But I don't think it's going to happen in New Orleans. I think he has
It
to go somewhere.
I would probably be more for it if I knew what the dude looked like in playoffs.
That would be the gamble.
Wouldn't it?
But
I know
I
what
mean,
you're
it's high risk, but it's high
yeah.
reward.
But at least I know like Sabonis, like I know his playoffs wasn't insane last time he played, but besides his three-point shooting, Like,
He got stepped on the chest.
yeah, he still averaged 17 and 11 in the playoffs. Like, it's not like he didn't do nothing, you know? Um, Zion, what's gonna happen once he goes to the playoffs and he can't shoot a three?
Yeah, but do you need all your guys to shoot threes on the floor?
I mean, you don't. But here's the thing,
Like,
Sabonis plays big, and ideally you want your big to be the one that can't shoot the threes. He's not the big man. He's the power forward.
yeah,
And you're thinking about putting him next to Musa and Kalkbrenner, who also don't shoot themselves.
that's true. But if you could have all these guards who are capable of shooting the three, like the Hornets already have, like the driving kicks would be so nice.
Yeah, I mean
And
it
dude,
would.
the Mellow Zion highlights would be insane.
Here's my thing. If we had a center that could shoot, I'm with it. But we just don't have that at hand. So I would probably say no.
Dang, man.
If you would have asked me back in like 2020, I probably would have said yes, but
Well, yeah.
that was his
I would hope you'd
crazy
say
that was his crazy year where he averaged like 27 points and he was shooting like 60% from the field.
so. You think he's completely toast at this point?
Well, yeah, he also lost a lot of weight, and a big part of his game was his weight. Like, I know a lot of people were like, he's getting hurt because of how overweight he was, but the reason he was so dominant was because of how big he was at his stature. So, with him being, more thin now, less muscle, it's really hard for me to think he can still be a power forward at 6'6", you know? Like, the only reason he was playing power forward was because of how big he was, and now he's not that big anymore. So,
Yeah, that's true. So you would do the Sabonis before you would do the Zion.
I would, yeah.
Yeah,
Just because Sabonis fits
fair
our
enough.
team better at this moment. Now, if Musa and Kalkbrenner, if one of them starts lighting up three-pointers, I might change my mind, but
Those all-star scores are gonna go crazy, but it'll be must-watch television.
Mhm.
Good stuff.
Well, Zach, we moving on
Josh,
to the next topic?
let's do it.
All right. You wanna pick and choose, or do you just wanna dive right into your own since you hit me with the
You
Celtics
pick.
topic? Okay.
Let's do the
I guess we're
Celtics.
I guess we're diving into some Boston basketball, baby.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
Josh's OG team.
Okay.
Woo!
Yeah, no. Um, dude, I took so many screenshots of this, dude. This is blowing my mind
Yeah,
because
why don't you set this up?
when we were talking about it, we were literally talking about it. It might have been a week ago when I sent you the first report. Let me see. No, dude, it was Monday. It was Monday. And Brian Windhorst said the team to watch is Miami to trade for Giannis, and they were talking about Jalen Brown for Giannis, and he was pretty much debunking and saying like Jalen Brown is not really in the talks for it. And then we also heard a report yesterday. I think it was yesterday where a report said that Jaylen Brown is not on the market at all. Like, the Celtics are not trying to ship Jaylen Brown at all. Like, he's not in any
Mhm.
talks. And then we come in today, baby.
What a
and
glorious day it's been.
and it is smoke and there is fire because someone lied for sure. And I
Who's
res-
capping?
and I respect it. I think Brad Stevens sent out a Boston agent somewhere in the realm of the NBA, and someone definitely made a fake report about Jaylen Brown being off the table. Because lo and behold, baby, Bill Simmons is the first one to come out and say that he thought Boston was out as well. And he says he knows Boston was out and was wondering if they were playing possum or not. So that means he knows that someone's making fake reports.
Yeah.
And he said, I think they're in on Giannis. He said, I'm not recanting what I said before. I don't know the reasons for it. Maybe they felt like Miami's offer is an offer they could beat. Maybe they want to drive the price of Miami's offer up and don't really have interest in him. Giannis is pushing for Miami or Boston. Those are the two locations he really wants to end up in is Boston because he would have the best chance to win a title. Boston is not ruling out the idea is my intel. In general, I'm prepared for anything with Boston now. And that's what Bill Simmons said. He said Boston is not ruling out the idea, and that's what his intel said, his scouts.
I have
And then,
butterflies.
as you should, and then literally like an hour, maybe 2 hours later, I hop back on and I see a report saying the Miami Heat are reportedly generally concerned about the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, they are.
There was another report saying that rival teams furthermore continue to point towards Boston's various assets as illustrating its ability to become a factor. They also note that Giannis shares a skills coach with Tatum and is believed to have a level of
Mhm.
interest in landing with the Celtics on top of his well chronicled affinity with Miami. This much is clear Boston is believed to be a potential suitor that generally concerns Miami. And then another report comes out. This is the last one.
Keep them coming.
This is how you know everything is legit. If you didn't believe everything was legit, this is the cherry on top right here. Reported as well today, the Timberwolves are no longer going after Giannis.
Hallelujah.
So, if the Timberwolves are not going after Giannis anymore, fun fact, the Heat and the Timberwolves were the main two suitors. That means there's always two.
Yeah.
There's always two, Zach. There's never just
Yeah.
one. Because if there's one, then this should be a trade. This is a done deal. Miami's the only one who can make the trade, which obviously it's not a done deal because there's two teams that are making better offers than the Timberwolves, and it's because it's Miami. The Timberwolves felt like they had a chance maybe to swing something over Miami, but then they saw Boston walk in and they're like, yeah, I can't compete with trading away Jaylen Brown. I'm out. I can't there's no one close to Jaylen Brown I can trade for. So, I'm out. It
Brad
lit
Stevens is sitting in his office right now with a cigar, just looking out into the city of Boston with a
with
slight
big old
smirk on his
shades,
face,
with the
with big old
shades. Yeah.
shades, looking like a mob boss, because that's what he is.
And
And
the
that's what he does.
and the report says the rest of the market remains very against getting Giannis. The Bucks and the Knicks, fun fact, the Bucks and the Knicks did talk last summer, but New York is playing in the NBA finals as this all goes down and is not about to blow up the roster. So, especially if they win, they're not going to blow up the roster and go after Giannis because Giannis, his number one location is the Knicks, by the way. if anyone needs to
Yeah.
know. Like, the Knicks were always his number 1 option. The only reason nothing happened was because the Bucks didn't wanna trade him to the Knicks, and also the Knicks just don't have the cap space to do it, especially now after getting OG. Um,
Mhm.
the Cavs don't wanna trade former Evan Mobley. Um, Turns out that's been a report that the Bucks would listen if Evan Mobley was involved. The Cavs do not wanna trade Evan Mobley, and that was the only viable path for that deal as well because they were in talks before. Teams in the West that might be a fit like Minnesota have not come hard because Giannis wants to stay in the Eastern Conference. And that is another reason why the Timberwolves stopped talks because Giannis wants to stay in the East, baby. You want to know why he wants to stay in the East? Because it's an easy ride to the finals,
Yes, sir.
especially if he hops on a team like Boston.
This is basically the Gordon Hayward sweepstakes on steroids, ladies and gentlemen. This is round 2, Miami versus Boston. And so, yeah, like you said, dude, Monday, I mean, it was basically like it's the Heat versus everyone else. The
It was
Heat are
basically like we're running it
pretty
back.
much getting
Boston was
Giannis.
like, we're running it back.
Exactly. And it seemed like no one had a package that he could give because what would it be like Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez,
Mhm.
Khalil Ware, and like the 14th pick or something like that.
Yeah, they got more picks to throw in. Yep.
And they have more picks to throw in. So it's like they would have what it takes to get someone like Giannis and probably the best deal of the teams who were in the sweepstakes. But lo and behold, you have Boston. And ever since the season ended, I've wanted to do this. This is something that needed to happen. It would be a 3-team trade. It would have to be because there would be no way. Why would the Bucks want Jalen Brown? In my opinion, if Jalen Brown went to the Blazers or the Hawks, that makes the most sense. Because if he went to the Blazers could give Sharp or Scoot. They could give Jeremy Grant and probably 2 first-round picks. Boston could give pick 27, Jalen Brown. Obviously, Boston gets Giannis, or the Hawks even. It's like the Hawks
Mhm.
could give Reese Shea. Um, I don't even know off the top of my head who else they would give.
You might not
They would
wanna
give
try to
someone else.
you might not wanna trade him in conference. You might wanna try to do your best to not do that just in case, but because
I
again,
mean, if I could pick, I would pick the Blazers.
because the Hawks, whether you like it or not, I do think they are kinda dangerous. I do think they are kinda a Jaylen Brown type of player away from making real noise. I'm not saying they would win a championship, but, like, knowing what we know now after watching the Knicks and the finals so far, the fact that the Hawks put 2 games on them in the first round is actually
Yeah.
super impressive now. Everything that happened in their final game against the Knicks is all wiped away from my memory because now when I go back, I'm like, "Dang, the Hawks actually had a chance." There was
Dude,
actually a
but
real chance. They had 2 games on them. They just
they
choked.
were up. They were
Mhm.
up in the series.
Yep.
But if I had to trade them to the Hawks to make the deal done, I don't have any problem
Yeah.
doing
No, I
that.
would still do it. I'm
So
just
I
saying
would still
ideally.
do it. It would
Yeah.
make them probably a top 4 seed, you
Yeah.
know, maybe 5. But
Yeah.
they would be a good playoff team.
Knicks would still be in there
So
somewhere, competing in the Pistons, obviously. And
Knicks,
the Cavs are still
Pistons,
there because 'cause they're
the
running it back.
Pacers would be probably back.
Pacers are
So
back. Yep. Mhm.
yeah, you know, it's gonna be competitive next year. But if we get sent into the Blazers, and you know what? You can have Drew Holiday and Jalen Brown slay monsters again over there. Go put Luca in prison like the finals in the West, and I'll be
Dude,
happy watching from
Blazers
afar.
makes sense because I totally forgot that reports were saying that Giannis wants to play with Drew Holiday again. I forgot about that. Did you know about that?
Yeah, but he's not gonna go there.
Back to Boston?
Who?
Drew.
Oh no, I was saying if we traded Jalen Brown to the Blazers, they can go slay monsters again together.
No, so
But I
like
don't.
so here's the thing. I think the Blazers actually, dude, the Blazers probably would be the team to do the trade because Drew Holiday and Giannis, there have been reports saying that they want to play together again.
But there'd be no way we could take on his contract.
Drew Holiday?
Yeah, there's no shot.
Really?
Yeah, unless we gave up Derek White, but I'm not doing that for Drew
Chat,
Holiday.
we're gonna have to hit up the trade machine tonight.
There's
We
no
gotta figure
way.
this out.
I
There's
mean,
just
we
no
had to
way.
dump him last year because of his contract. What's he
Really?
making? Let me see. Drew Holiday. Yeah, he's making a lot, dude.
What is it? What are we looking at here? What's the damage?
So it was a 4-year, 134 million. Next year, he's making 34, almost 35 million.
Oh, and it says Boston cannot reacquire. Oof.
He'll be 36 and making almost 35 million.
Yeah, and it says Boston cannot reacquire Drew Holiday either. There's like a stipulation saying he can't reacquire.
Oh,
Oof.
I mean, I honestly,
So it'd
yeah.
only have to happen for a buyout, but anyways, yeah, you're good. Continue.
I mean, if he came from a buyout,
Yeah,
come on over,
right.
my friend.
Come back.
He played really good
Come
last year
back
actually
home.
for the Blazers, so
Dude, he did.
I
He
don't
looked
think
good in
they
the
would do that.
playoffs. I was shocked.
He was. And so, yeah, basically I was just trying to make a joke of to make fun of Luka, but I mean, you send him to the Blazers, we get Giannis, and then
You
Blazers
also
have the
get Kyle
package and
Kuzma.
like as you what'd you say?
I said you get Kyle Kuzma as well.
Come again?
Kyle Kuzma's in that package, right?
I would rather take the Antetokounmpo brothers for Kuzma.
Okay, fair
I don't
enough.
think Kuzma would love to play with Tatum either.
Oh,
Vice
come
versa.
on, man.
So, and the Blazers, that's exactly who they need to. They need a wing who can be a number one, create his own shot,
Yeah.
and it would be something that Jalen Brown, I think he would like that too. So, I would try to figure out something with one of those two teams, preferably the Blazers, like you said. You know, if you could keep them out of the East, that would be ideal. But a team with Giannis and Jason Tatum together, that would feed me. That would feed my family. And then
Not just
obviously you have
families, it would just feed you.
it would feed me, bro.
Yep.
And so we would have Derek White, I'm guessing probably Baylor Shireman as our two. You would have Jason Tatum, Giannis, and then
Isn't
Neemias Queta
is it
would
not
probably be our starting five.
is it not Payne Pritchard's time? Is it not his time to
No,
be
I would
starting?
have him off
Oh,
the bench.
okay.
So that was what he did this year too.
You
Like
don't
he
think
started the
Giannis plays
year.
center?
Um, he could. I guess if you take Shireman, well, no, I don't think
Giannis
so.
makes sense at center because he fixes your center issues.
We don't have anyone to put at the two besides Shireman at that point,
Well, you also have
unless you want to
you
start
have
Pritchard.
you have free agency coming. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's
the only
dude,
way you would
I
do
wouldn't
that.
feel bad. Dude, I would not feel bad not playing Pritchard as a starter because I know you might be worried about his defense, but
No,
dude,
that's not what I'm worried about.
oh, what are you worried about?
He's the guy that comes off the bench to lead the second unit. Like he's the
Um,
scoring option for the second unit. He's someone who can
you can
create his
still
own
make
shot.
acquisitions in free agency though. Like your
Yeah, we
roster's
could.
not set in stone. You guys can make some good signings. It's just more of it's going to solely depend if you guys make this trade, and then if you do, which guys do you get it from free agency to build around Tatum and
Yeah.
Giannis?
But for me, if I had to choose, I would have it White, Shireman, Tatum, Giannis, and Queta.
from
and
what you're
then you would
seeing
still
now.
have right, and then you would have Pritchard, Ron Harper Jr., Jordan Walsh, Luca Garza. You have those guys.
Mhm.
Hugo Gonzalez coming off the bench, and that's obviously before free agency and everything. But I would love that lineup very much. And there's even been rumors of a potential Derek White trade. And honestly,
Yeah.
that would break my heart.
It
But
makes kinda sense though, Zach,
if you
after this
made the Giannis
playoffs.
trade and could build up some depth, especially at the center position in the front court, and maybe add like another guard, it depends on the package you would get, but I would not hate that either. But it would have to be a good deal. Like I'm not selling Derek White for 75 cents on the dollar. It would have to be
Still wanna
I'm
get some
getting
value for
more.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, cuz Derek White is the type of player that every single team needs, and he's hard to come by because he fits every single team. It doesn't matter
But
who.
if you play like he did in the playoffs, does it really matter?
Well,
Because let's
yeah,
not
so
forget
he
that this
he
past
had a rough
playoffs
shooting
was
year.
the shooting year. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He had a
Yeah.
down year, and he is
Yeah,
31. So my thing is, he's 31. He had a down year. It's not looking hot. You're betting on
yeah.
him to come back close to about the same player he was before. This might be the time to sell high on him. I'm not gonna lie.
Which I think part of it was for most of the year he was forced to be the second option, which
Could
that's
be.
not who he is. I
Yeah.
think he thrives more as the number 3 or the number 4 option.
Mhm.
Obviously, once Tatum came back, at that point it was kind of too late. Like his shot was already just not hitting that year. His defense is still there,
Yeah.
and that's a huge part of it. But he really needs to get his 3-pointer back to be
He
effective, and
needs
I
to get
think he
all of his
can.
shooting back.
So the only way I'm trading Derek White is if I'm getting something really sweet. I'm not trading him just to trade him,
Yeah.
but if you did, it would have to be for possibly 2 players that can be rotational guys. So I would do this trade in a heartbeat for Giannis, and I think that team could possibly compete with the Spurs
Mhm.
if healthy. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Makes sense. I'm with you on that.
There are a couple other trades, right?
Yeah. Um, is that everything you wanted to go through? Did you pour all your heart and soul into that?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Welcome to Nasus and Alex.
And Alex, yeah, I was about to say, don't forget
I can never
Alex.
forget
I know,
Alex.
yeah, dude has the most basic name compared to everybody else in his family,
I
but
know.
we have Giannis,
Respect.
Thanos, and Alex.
This is Alex. He's
Uh,
adopted.
yeah, he's the last one. It's okay.
Yeah.
We ran out of names by the time we got to him. So
We stopped being creative.
exactly. Um, Another trade that happened literally the same day. Teams are moving, Zach. They are moving quick, and it makes sense because we really are closer to free agency than most people think. Um, I saw another report today, man, and I'm not really too shocked about it. Um, the report is the Warriors reportedly have a grand plan to potentially acquire Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James. Which, first and foremost, before I read off everything else, this makes perfect sense
Mhm.
because LeBron and Kawhi want to be in California. They love LA. This makes it to where they can get both of the best of both worlds and they can play with Steph Curry. So,
Yeah,
um, step 1 of the plan is they sign LeBron to the $15 million um, minimum that they're eligible for, like the vet minimum. They would sign him to that, so LeBron would only make 15 million. And then step 2, this also makes sense, where they trade Jimmy Butler, Brandon B pods, and 2 first round picks. The 2 first round picks that they were trying to leverage in the Giannis trade for Kawhi Leonard, which this trade makes sense because the Clippers are now in rebuilding mode and they're trying to gain all draft picks and assets as much as they can moving forward here because they're in rebuilding mode. They're definitely getting rid of Kawhi. This makes so much sense. We talked about this before, Zach, and I actually think it was our first pod, if I remember correctly, where we talked about LeBron. It was like it was my secret, yeah, it was my secret little take that we had that I was
yeah,
holding. And we talked about the Warriors, and I remember you asking me if I thought the Warriors would be able to get him. And I literally said, the only way this happens is LeBron takes the cheaper route because the Warriors don't have any cap space to get him on the roster unless they're trading Jimmy Butler to the Lakers, and that's
mhm,
not happening. Because the Lakers are also having cap issues right now. We just talked about Austin Reeves and that issue. So this makes perfect sense. You sign LeBron to the vet minimum of $15 million, and best of both worlds, you give Clippers 2 first round picks who they would love to get. If it means
dude.
taking on Jimmy Butler's remaining contract and B pods who you can actually play and develop more, this is literally perfect. This is the
Take
perfect
that
scenario.
in a heartbeat, easy.
Mhm.
If you're the Clippers, 100%.
Yep. The 2 first round picks from the Warriors who might have LeBron, Kawhi, and Steph. This is
If
a
the Warriors give
1
me
or
one,
2.
I'm taking it.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yes.
go ahead.
No, you're right, because guess what? This is this is all 3 of them, this is their last team. If they team up, this is it. This is the last dance. And you know what's funny, Zach? These are literally the last players of a big era pretty much. I mean, we still have James Harden, but dude, Curry, Kawhi, and LeBron, like these were like besides KD and James Harden, dude, these were like our top 5 players. Like
Yeah.
putting those 3 guys on the team at the same time. And again, it makes so much sense, dude. Like obviously people were like, well, LeBron is probably not going to leave California again. Like the reason he moved to LA was to spend there for the rest of his career. And Kawhi the same. The reason he went to the Clippers is because he wants to stay in LA. He likes LA. So if they don't want to be on their teams anymore, what do? You send them to the next door neighbor who has Steph Curry. You knock on their door and say, "Hey, remember when I said that it would be really cool if we paired LeBron and Curry on the same team? Wouldn't that be magical? How about we do that? Let's do it this year, and let's ride out in the sunset."
Yeah, I mean, for the Warriors aspect, if LeBron is willing to take that sort of pay cut, like that's absolutely fantastic for them. I wouldn't actually love the Kawhi move that much, to be honest, for them. But I understand why they would. Like you were just saying right there, just pairing all those guys up for the last dance. But, just thinking more of like a long-term move, I don't think that's really smart at
Well,
all. Um,
they've already screwed themselves though at this point. Like they are stuck. They literally don't have this is their best chance.
yeah, I'm just saying they're giving up anything they have
Yeah,
basically
it's
for
not
this.
ideal,
And
but
then
they've already
after,
there's really they've already screwed themselves is what I'm saying. Like, they're already cooked. They might as well just buy into that for this
Yeah,
last remaining time that they have Steph, because Steph is 38. Dude, Steph is gonna be 39.
I don't like that.
39, Zach.
No.
Dude, Kawhi, I think he turns 40 this year.
Oh my gosh. The retirement home.
No, the
Here
Warriors
we
are.
go.
Oh, wait, sorry. Kawhi is about to turn 35, but he plays like he's 40. And then, LeBron's like 42. So,
What was the team that we joked about being the retirement home? It was either football or basketball, but there was like one team that really stood out that like had a bunch of old players. I can't think of it.
was it the Wizards?
No.
Because, you go to that team to die.
Um Shoot.
Because that's what I think of a
Oh, it's
retirement
gonna bother
home.
me so
Chris
much.
Middleton went there. He's done for. CJ McCollum goes there, it's over. I think of the Warriors as
Dang.
like a retirement home. Are the Clippers not a retirement home? I mean, that's kind of newer.
That may have been who I was thinking of.
Yeah, I mean, the Clippers are. I mean, They were the, dude. They were the oldest team in the league until they traded everybody. So
Shoot. Yeah, that's probably the Clippers. But
mhm.
yeah, it's kind of hard to quantify like Kawhi's value just because of like his age, his injury history. He's got an expiring contract, and so it's like all those factors. If it's not Golden State, where would it be? Is my question, because he
And
is coming off
the
of
Clippers
his
already
best
said they're
offensive
getting rid of
season.
him. There's already guaranteed rumors they're moving off of him no matter who is gonna be. Like they're gonna
Yeah.
trade him. It's
Yeah, I'm
gonna
just trying to
happen.
think of who else would, just because that Warriors package is probably the best they would get.
It would be. And it's because they're
It's like,
desperate.
would the Timberwolves do something? I don't know if they
Mm,
would.
but the thing is, if they did, they would
The
have to
Pistons, he wouldn't go there.
give up like Jaden McDaniels, and I'm not getting rid of
Yeah,
Jaden McDaniels,
no,
especially not for a guy that's a 1-year rental, and he doesn't want to be in Minnesota. He didn't want to be in Toronto.
yeah,
They're next door
yeah.
neighbors. That's not happening. He's not
He's
going
got to
to.
be in California.
He's not going to the Kings.
It'd be hilarious if he went to the Lakers.
Oh my gosh.
I would die.
But there's literally no way. There's no way.
Yeah. Shoot, man. Yeah, Warriors make the most sense and they would offer the best package. It's just going to be interesting, like who they're going to have on their bench. Like, can they keep Guy Santos? Like Moses Moody? I don't know.
I actually looked at the contracts here. Um yeah, Santos is locked up for a couple more years. Um DeAnthony Milton does have a player option, which he's probably going to accept. Al
Is Big
Horford,
Daddy out with
he,
2 year?
he has a player option,
No, he's got to come back
which
to Boston.
nope, 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 nope.
Yes.
If listen, if you're Al Horford and you see Kawhi and LeBron walk in the door,
Hey, man.
he's accepting that player
If
option.
you're Al Horford, you come back home with Giannis and your
Mm.
firstborn son, Jason Tatum, and you run it back.
Or or he sees
Come on,
LeBron and
Josh.
Kawhi walk in the door and he accepts his player option. Plus, the only way
No.
that happens, actually, yeah, that's not happening. Al Horford's gonna take the bag. You wanna know how much Al Horford's getting paid for that player option?
I'm actually going to guess. I don't know, though. Is it like 5?
It's 6 million.
Oh, okay.
Celtics not paying him 6 million.
No, he can come on the vet, man.
Yeah, and how much is that? Like 1 million?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not doing that.
But Al, please.
Al's trying to make as much money as he can at the end of his lifetime, I think. I don't think there's anything sentimental here.
He'll never have to buy a beer again in Boston.
But dude, it makes so much sense because this is Kawhi's last year on his contract. This is Curry's last year on his contract. LeBron might be putting in a vet minimum.
Dang, they're really all about to retire the same year.
Zach, they might join up, and this might be their last dance. We might have a Warriors documentary in the future about LeBron and Kawhi and Curry in Last
Draymond
Dance.
said, "Don't forget about me."
Oh, he has a player option, baby.
Oh, he's back.
Oh yeah, dude.
He's like, my best friend LeBron's gonna be here. I can't leave.
But dude, that defense is actually that's not bad. Wait,
It's tough.
wait. Yo, Zach, they're cooking. Oh my gosh. So wait, they would have
If this happens,
if it happens, dude, this would have been crazy in their prime. But like, even just the premise of having Draymond, LeBron, Kawhi, and Al Horford on a
yeah,
starting rotation.
I
Yo,
know.
that defense sounds actually nasty. And the IQ, dude. These are all the grandpas, bro. The IQ is gonna be amazing. They're all gonna
You
make the
have
right plays.
literally a bunch of assistant coaches on the court.
No, literally. Dude, the IQ is like 1,000.
I'd be so curious the turnovers, like to see where they rank them on the league in that
Oh,
aspect.
collectively, if that happened?
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
it'd be
that makes
interesting.
sense, dude. Cause like, with that starting lineup, it's like it makes sense that the Warriors would go all in because it's like, well, Curry's on his last year. He's probably not resigning because this team is cooked. Like, there's just no way it's happening. So we call it a last dance. We run it back for one more year, and we're gonna go out in a bang.
They got
And they have
Clinton
Kristaps
Post.
baby. No, I'm kidding. They're probably gonna. I mean, Gary Payton's probably gonna get re-signed, right? Because Steve Kerr loves to. Let's not forget Steve Kerr.
He can play defense.
If there's anyone that can coach this team, it is Steve Kerr. He is
It
the
is
USA
absolutely
coach.
Steve Kerr.
Yep, Steve Kerr. He's used to this. He's been in this moment many times.
There might be one person who's a bigger Tatum hater than you. It's Steve Kerr.
Oh my gosh. You still holding on to that?
Maybe.
I mean, when you play like how he did in the USA anyway.
Excuse me. He didn't even get to play, sir.
Exactly.
First team All NBA, can't even get a minute. Anywho, that's
But
not what we're talking about.
but really the Warriors are really just missing like if you can if they're still going to have Moses Moody. If they can re-sign Gary Payton to another like minimum contract, they're still going to have Will Richard. Um you pretty much just
There's
need to
going to be a
find a
lot
big
of dudes
man.
who would come to
Oh,
for a
dude,
vet
I didn't even
min.
think about that. Dude,
Yeah, they're all going to
dude,
come in.
dude, imagine Kristaps hits them up with the vet minimum.
He is not.
Dude,
There's no
oh my
shot.
gosh. Oh my gosh. There's a
He would come
chance
back to
though.
Boston before that.
Would he?
I think he
Are you
would.
sure? Would he?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay.
He loves Boston. He would
It,
100% come to Boston
be
before
honest,
doing that to Golden State.
if all this happens and he signs the vet minimum, if he signs the minimum with Golden State, what is your
You can
reaction?
clip this. You can clip this and say I'm wrong, but there is absolutely no chance in the whole wide world I will get a Kristaps tattoo.
Oh, for real?
I'll get a Kristaps tattoo on my leg if he signs for the vet minimum with the Warriors.
Okay. Bro specifically had to say vet minimum because if he signs anything bigger than the vet minimum, he's saved.
Is there any sort of like weird bonuses in this contract?
But I know there's definitely one man on a mission that they are definitely resigning, and that's
The
Hornets legend
Warriors?
Seth Curry.
Oh my gosh.
I
I mean, you have to.
mean, might as well, right?
Yeah.
And then
Does that
hopefully,
mean they get Bronny,
I
or does Bronny stay out on his
mean,
own? Does
it
he carve
makes
his own path?
I think Bronny stays with LA. Bronny's really big on building his own path. I mean, even LeBron has came out and said he regretted naming his son after him.
Dang.
And that's because he didn't think about the repercussions. But like Bronny agrees with him. That's why Bronny goes by Bronny, not LeBron. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to be in the same vicinity as his dad because he just doesn't want all that, dude. Because
That's not that
obviously,
crazy though. I mean,
obviously,
a
as we
lot of
can
people do
see,
that.
as you can see what happens when you're the son of one of the greatest basketball players to ever live, you see what kind of implications that comes with. If
Mhm.
you're even a hint of bad at the game, you get absolutely patronized 24/7, even though the dude literally had cardiac arrest just like 2 or 3 years ago.
I forget about that. That is crazy.
Yeah, keep in mind, anyone that's making fun of Bronny, you're a horrible human being. I'm looking at you,
Wow.
Zach.
Hey man, I only make fun of his basketball skill.
But to be fair, like, I think Bronny would be better. It's just the dude kinda had cardiac arrest not too long ago, and everyone hasn't had cardiac arrest, but, fun fact, it doesn't really help you play basketball. It actually makes you worse at basketball or just anything you do. Literally, cardiac arrest is you literally die for
Yeah.
seconds. So, just keep that in
Yeah,
mind.
that's fair.
It literally happened 3 it almost happened 3 years ago. Bronny has been playing professional basketball, and he had a cardiac arrest in July of '23.
Yeah, that is
That
wild.
that's a miracle. Like, it's hard to come back from a cardiac arrest. The fact that he was even able to still play G League after that and still play pro ball to this point is actually amazing. And if anyone has listened to LeBron talk about it, even LeBron is very impressed. Like, LeBron tries to remind people, like, it's true. There's nothing like it, dude. Like, once you have cardiac arrest, and luckily, Bronny's in a different situation. Him and his dad have the money, to help him more than most people. But it's still a battle at the end of the day. Like, he literally could have died. Once you have a cardiac arrest, you're just a ticking time bomb. Like, if the paramedics don't get to you in time, they literally have to resurrect you as quickly as possible.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's not a good thing. And when something like that shuts down your body, anything that shuts down your body for many minutes, dude, your body it's just not the same after stuff like that. Like, when people have a cardiac arrest, heart attack, dude, seizures, like, this is all like mental and physical, and dude, it messes with your brain. It For people to come back from that, it's really hard, and that's why a lot of people don't. So, just want
Mhm.
to put that out there real quick, but it's even amazing that he's able to play basketball because majority of players would not be able to, but that's his benefit for having daddy LeBron James.
Shout out Bronny. That's for
Mhm.
sure. So you think there's no shot he tries to play with Bryce after this year?
I know there's been rumors about it. I guess it
You
just
have to play 2 more
depends.
seasons.
Yeah, because 'cause he'd have to play this season, and then you're assuming Bryce goes into the draft next year,
Yeah.
but, mm, I'm not gonna lie, dude, I don't know, because I know, like, LeBron's thought about it, but it's just, like, it's the Bronny situation makes sense, like, that was realistic, obviously. This, though, I don't know if it's that realistic, you know?
Mm.
I really don't know.
I really don't know how good Bryce is. Like, I remember he was probably supposed to be better than Bronny, but, like, the past, like, 2 years or so, I
Mhm.
haven't really heard much about him at all.
Well, that's because he
And he
didn't.
redshirted his freshman year, like,
Yeah, that's what I'm
eh.
saying. I
But
don't
if he
think.
was that good, he probably wouldn't redshirt.
Yeah, that's the thing, like, Bronny was more touted coming out of high school. Bryce is definitely not as good as Bronny, so,
Yeah.
I mean, Bryce was averaging, like I think he was only averaging 8 points per game in his senior year in high school.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I mean, he played at Sierra Canyon in,
Mm.
California, they're really like, one of the biggest high schools you could play at. He averaged 8 points there, but still,
Yeah.
I get the implications of playing with other great players, but if you're only averaging 8 points playing with those other great players, maybe it's a sign. And at least
For sure.
Bronny, in his senior year, he averaged about I think he averaged about 14 points. So
Bryce sat by Jackson
and Bronny.
Francois last year
Yeah.
on the bench.
Yep. Isn't that
That's
awesome?
not good.
You gotta ride somehow. Gotta get that scholarship money, baby.
Josh, I have an unrealistic LeBron destination.
Okay.
Imagine if
Boston?
he went to Washington.
Oh, what is wrong with you?
Okay, Trey Young, DeBansta, LeBron, Star, and Anthony Davis.
You're disgusting.
That's a good team.
Yeah,
That's a good
he
team.
would never play for
In
the
the East,
Wizards.
he would never do it,
Yeah.
but that would be wild.
Even AD doesn't wanna play for the Wizards.
If that happens, you have to get a Wizards tattoo.
I will get a Wizards LeBron jersey. You heard it here first.
I said tattoo, but jersey's fine.
Nah, jersey works. Jersey works, guys.
Jersey's not permanent.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, Zach didn't really think that one through, but, he already said it, so we're cooking
Yes,
here.
I did say it.
Yeah, he's kinda
Only if it's for
cooked.
the minimum.
He had to make that
Remember,
a
I said that.
He said if he makes $1 over the minimum, it's done
$1 over the
for.
minimum, it's off.
Yeah, deal's off instantly,
So
doesn't matter.